But Lord said, I want to make a multi-millionaire out of someone, but they have to sow $10,000. He said, and they have to do that within 90 seconds.
You're sowing this seed of $1,000 plus $235 and receiving the blessings to come to all that participated.
Now that's only $1,200.
Yes.
Y'all not listening to what
I want to preach tonight using as a subject, I'm here for a good time, not a long time. Where can I enjoy myself without being judged?
Why? Well, because everybody can be compromised except you. Yeah. If you don't believe in God, then it's pretty messed.
All right, y'all. If you've been on Black Twitter this week, you already know what we got to talk about. Father's Day just passed, and apparently that brought out all the receipts about shady, two-timing, deadbeat pastors. And now Katt Williams is saying, I told y'all. Katt literally said you shouldn't put trust in any of these pastors because they're literally just men, and every man can be compromised. Now, before I start exposing these pastors, let me remind you what Katt said. Basically, he said, watch out, because a lot of these so-called men of God are just playing church. They're standing behind a pulpit, but operating like it's a hustle.
Bible said, do not put your trust in men. It's pretty specific. If you don't believe in God, then it's pretty messed up because now you only got you to believe in. But if you got you and God, you can believe in both of those. I talk to God 5 and 6 times a day. He has an accurate account of how I'm feeling about everything, how I think things are going, what I feel like I'm doing good at, what I feel like I need help with. These are our conversations. So I don't wonder why stuff gets moved out of my way because I asked for things to be moved out of my way.
Katt's whole thing is that you don't need a pastor to translate your prayers to God. You can just talk to God directly. And I'm not saying all pastors are corrupt, but a lot of them are, and we're going to talk about them today. All right, let's start with Jamal Bryant, the pastor of New Birth Missionary Baptist Church in Atlanta. So right before Father's Day this year, a woman named Latoya Shanti Odom went on Tasha K's platform and claimed she met Jamal on MySpace. Yeah, MySpace. That alone tells you this is old drama that's just now surfacing. So Latoya said Jamal asked her to be his massage therapist. They ended up at a hotel, had unprotected relations while he was supposedly going through a divorce, and she got pregnant.
Latoya Odom.
Tasha K.
Are you Jamal Bryant, the preacher, the minister, the fornicator? Is he your baby daddy?
He is.
Is he a present father?
Never has been.
How did you meet Mr. Bryant?
He found me on MySpace. That's how old this is. He befriends me on MySpace, and then I start looking into all of his little profiles. Like, oh, he's married. He just asked me to be his massage therapist. So I'm trying to figure out the 2 and 2, like what is going on? And he was like, well, I'm going through a divorce. He's like, I want to get a massage. Come to the hotel. I'll pay you whatever. And I'm going to church tonight. This is when it gets crazy. He said I seduced him.
You massaged?
Yeah, I massaged him.
Naked?
Next thing I know, clothes coming off. So we have sex.
Protected?
No. Louisiana people say, you know how you could tell there's alligators in the water? Go and test the water. Is it wet? The alligator's in the water. So you know I'm fertile. I just told you. So you came to the water wet, with no condom, no nothing.
He nutted in you.
Now here's where it gets crazy. According to Latoya, the last child support payment she received from Jamal was $96 for an 11-year-old. And she says when she brought their son to Atlanta to meet him, Jamal didn't even want to give him a hug. He just looked at him.
There has been child support paid to you.
The last payment I received was $96. And John loves him. One day he told me, he said, Mommy, I love you and I love my daddy.
So he was helping at some point.
John really believes his dad. This is what he said at 2. He said, Mommy, I want to go see my daddy. So I dressed him up at 2. He was in Atlanta and I took him. Do you know Jamal never touched him? Just looked at him. They had a staring contest.
You mind if I talk to you, baby? Can you sit down? Why I don't like kids on my platform.
Now, the irony in all this is that this man preaches constantly about black fathers being present. He does whole Father's Day sermons honoring his own dad. And then the week before Father's Day, he gets exposed for being a deadbeat. And look, LaToya also needs to take accountability for her part in this. Why would you go to a hotel with a man you just met and then sleep with him with no protection? But regardless of that, the boy is innocent in all this. And I can't help but wonder what God thinks of a pastor having an orphan son and refusing to take care of him. The Bible literally says, if anyone does not provide for his relatives, and especially for members of his household, he has denied the faith and is worse than an unbeliever. But we're not done with Jamal Bryant yet, because this baby mama drama isn't the only scandal he got dragged into this year. Back in February, when Target decided to scale back DEI after Trump got in, the black community organized a boycott. But Jamal wasn't part of the original movement. The movement was actually started by grassroots folks in Minnesota.
However, once the boycott started gaining steam, Pastor Bryant hopped on board and launched what he called the Target Fast, a 40-day thing during Lent to get black churches involved. Now, at first it seemed like a win because it brought more eyes to the cause. But then, on March 11, he held a press conference at the National Press Club and announced the boycott was over.
For the moments that are entrusted to me left, I want to go over the 4 things that Target has.
But here's the thing, the boycott had no reason to be over because Target hadn't changed a single policy. The DEI rollback from 2025 was still in place, and all Target did was rebrand DEI as belonging. And that $2 billion pledge Pastor Bryant kept bringing up, that was actually from 2020, after George Floyd. So it wasn't new money. So when actual organizers found out about Jamal's announcement, they were furious. That same day, they held their own press conference outside Target headquarters in Minneapolis and made it crystal clear the boycott was not over. And one of them straight up called Jamal a clout chaser and a fake pastor.
We are asking people continue to stand with grassroots leadership in the state of Minnesota, where Target is actually headquartered, and not clout chasers, not fake pastors, not fake activists trying to co-opt our work. These people have received awards from the National Association of the NAACP and the Route 100 for our work. So they have no credibility. They don't speak for us. They didn't stand in the gaps for us when George Floyd was killed or when Operation Metro Surge happened. We stood for us and with the community. We speak for us, and we will never sell out our community for crumbs or a seat at Target's corrupt table. So we are asking people, continue to double down and hold Target accountable. The boycott continues. Thank you.
And then on top of all that, there was that whole thing where Jamal Bryant's wife wore a revealing outfit, and people had a lot of opinions on it. But then Jamal clapped back, saying people were just jealous of his wife. And he even revealed he was the one who picked the dress.
But insecure, jealous, petty, small-minded, people got in their feelings and set up a false barometer of holiness based off of a dress. Now you got to help some people because some people have embraced the full knowledge of ignorance without any assistance for understanding. The dress was not see-through. The dress was flesh color. But because you ain't never been nowhere and ain't never been exposed to nothing, I needed to set the record straight. Y'all don't like this. I need to set the record straight. I bought the dress. And I like it. I don't care whether you like it or not. She ain't mad to y'all, she mad to me.
So yeah, Jamal Bryant is having a year, and it's only June. All right, moving on to a woman who is a self-proclaimed pastor, Tashella Dickerson. She's a Baptist preacher and was also the Black Lives Matter Oklahoma City leader. However, in December 2025, she was indicted for embezzling at least $3.15 million in bail funds and donations. Now let me tell you what she bought with money that was supposed to help people get out of jail. 6 properties in Oklahoma City worth over $500,000, vacations to Jamaica and the Dominican Republic, a car, and shopping sprees at Nordstrom Rack, Macy's, and Best Buy. And the way she did it is actually wild. She was depositing returned bail checks into her personal bank accounts, like it was her regular paycheck, so wasn't even trying to hide it.
But a 28-page federal indictment alleges the stream of generous online donations went into Dickerson's pocket, over $3 million. This is how the money flowed. A nonprofit from Arizona called Alliance for Global Justice sent money for protesters to post bail. When they showed up to court and the bail money was returned, Dickerson allegedly put it in her bank account rather than sending it back to the nonprofit to help others in the movement. Court documents accuse Dickerson of spending those millions on vacations to Jamaica and the Dominican Republic, $50,000 in food and grocery deliveries, money on clothes and furniture, a 2021 Hyundai Palisade, and 6 properties.
All right, next up we got Marvin Winans. He recently went viral for all the wrong reasons when he asked congregants to give what he called $1,000 plus 1, which basically meant he wanted $2,000 total. People were lining up, presenting their donations, reading from a script, and everything. But then this woman, Roberta McCoy, stepped up with her son and said she was giving $1,000 plus $235. And Pastor Winans literally scolded her in front of everyone. Check this out.
I, Roberta McCoy, given faith and stand in unity with the vision of perfecting church of sowing this seed of $1,000 plus $235 and receiving the blessings to come to all that participated.
Now that's only $1,200.
Yes.
Y'all not listening to what I'm saying. If you have 1,000 plus 1,000.
Well, I'm going to work on the other 800.
Well, that ain't what I asked you to do.
So is this a church or a business? If you're still falling for this mess, I don't know what to tell you. But until we make all churches be audited and taxed, nothing will change. Now, Marvin Winans later claimed it was all a misunderstanding. He said he was calling people by donation tiers so the elderly didn't have to stand too long, and Roberta got in the wrong line. Yeah, okay. The video speaks for itself, and no amount of backtracking or apologizing can make it right. Now, before I wrap this up, I want to talk about one more person, Pastor Adrien Davis. Davis was the pastor of All Nations Worship Assembly in Huntsville, Alabama, and in February 2026, he was sentenced to 5 years in federal prison. He embezzled over $400,000 from his church between 2018 and 2020, and let me tell you what that money bought. Pastor Davis got himself an Audi A7, a GMC Yukon, and a whole lot of shopping sprees at Louis Vuitton. He also splashed $5,300 at the Flight Club sneaker store. Then he bought himself a Hublot watch that cost almost 30 grand and $28,000 worth of Peter Marco jewelry. And on top of all that, he paid off over $268,000 in personal credit card bills with church funds. So not only was he buying luxury items, he was using the offering to pay his Amex.
This is Davis back in 2019, during the time he is accused of taking funds from the ANWA church. Court documents say he bought a $30,000 Audi and $45,000 GMC SUV with the church's money during this time. They also say Davis used the ANWA church's fund to pay off over $100,000 of his own credit card debt.
The federal prosecutors said in the indictment that Pastor Davis betrayed his congregation and abused his position of trust for personal gain. And they're right. This man was literally wearing the offering on his wrist. His congregation was probably putting their last $20 in the plate, and he was out there flexing with a Hublot watch. Oh, and he also filed false tax returns and didn't report report any of the stolen money as income, so the IRS got him too, and now he's serving 5 years. The craziest part is he could have just gotten a regular job like everybody else instead of cosplaying a man of God. But this isn't new behavior. We've been dealing with this mess for decades. Back in the 90s, we had Henry J. Lyons, a Baptist pastor and the president of the National Baptist Convention USA.
I don't care what you do, how bad you get, how bad you think you are, how high you trying to, God.
Well, speaking of being bad, in 1998, Pastor Lyons was indicted by federal prosecutors for fraud, extortion, money laundering, conspiracy, and tax evasion. It was later revealed that he was misusing money that was supposed to go to burned churches. And the messiest part of that story is that his wife set fire to a house that he co-purchased with another woman. She literally burned it down. Pastor Lyons served 4 years in prison and was ordered to pay $5.2 million in restitution. However, he passed away in October last year, so we can't ask him for a comment. So like I said, this has been a pattern for a long time. And nowadays, you have these prosperity gospel preachers who take it to a whole other level. Remember when Creflo Dollar asked for $60 million in donations so he could buy a private jet? And don't even get me started on Diddy's personal pastor, because that's a different type of rabbit hole. And again, I'm not saying every pastor is a scammer. There are plenty who are doing good work, serving their communities, and actually helping people. But when you're taking money from people who are already struggling and spending it on Louis Vuitton, expensive watches, and vacation homes, you're not a pastor. You're a grifter, period. This is literally what Katt Williams warned y'all about. If a man standing behind a pulpit but moving like he's running a scam, believe what you see, not what he says. But let me know in the comments, what scammer pastor did I miss to mention? And do you agree with Katt that you don't need a pastor to have a relationship with God? Drop your thoughts below and I'll catch you in the next one.